Transform pain into power, mastering dark psychology. Imagine if the pain you're experiencing right now wasn't a result of heartbreak, but rather a transformative process. What if the silence that's been left in her wake is the exact catalyst you need to become a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself, someone she'll struggle to comprehend in the future? This isn't about trying to win her back or rekindle what's been lost. It's about undergoing a profound metamorphosis, one that will leave you so grounded, so composed, and so self-assured that nothing she does will be able to shake you again. Right now, you might be feeling a deep sense of emptiness, as if your chest has been ripped open and everything you've given has been carelessly discarded. You're likely searching for answers, trying to make sense of what went wrong and how things fell apart. But that's not the approach that stoic individuals or powerful men take. We don't dwell on the past or get bogged down in regret. Instead, we harness our pain and transform it into a powerful force that drives us forward. This is your story, a tale of a man who's been broken by love, but rises from the ashes like a phoenix, forged anew through discipline, silence, and self-control. You don't need closure or her apology to move forward. What you need is to reconnect with your true self, to remember who you are at your core, and to tap into that inner strength. In this video, we'll be delving deep into the mind, exploring the intersection of stoicism and dark psychology, where detachment becomes a powerful attractant, silence becomes a form of dominance, and heartbreak becomes the crucible that forges your next level of growth. Stay engaged, because every section of this journey is a vital piece of your rebirth. By the end of this transformative process, you won't just feel stronger, you'll be unrecognizable, reborn into a new version of yourself that's more resilient, more confident, and more powerful. If you finally stopped letting memories pull you under, if you're prepared to transform this hurt into something sharp and unbreakable, then smash that like button, subscribe, tap the notification bell, and drop your thoughts in the comments. My strength comes from quiet resolve. Let's dive in. First, pain is the threshold. Feeling pain doesn't make you fragile. Longing for someone doesn't make you delicate. That hollow feeling in your ribcage? It's evidence that what you had was genuine, that your love carried depth, that your commitment mattered. But here's what most men avoid admitting: pain isn't a wrecking ball. It's scaffolding. Pain reflects who you are, and too many men fear that reflection. Right now, your brain's stuck on repeat, rehashing that final talk, that last message, the way she glanced at you before everything shattered. You're digging for clues, asking, where did I mess up? But here's the stoic approach: we don't waste energy on phantoms. We pursue clarity. And here's yours: this pain could be your greatest teacher, but only if you let it shape you. Think of it as your awakening, a rite of passage. For example, imagine a blacksmith tempering steel. The fire isn't meant to destroy the metal, but to strengthen it. Your pain, handled with purpose, can forge resilience you never knew you had. This isn't an ending, it's the start of how you rebuild. Every strong individual is shaped by adversity, not comfort or validation, but by facing the depths of emotional turmoil. Pain is a catalyst for growth, and it's in these moments that our true character is revealed. So, here's your opportunity. Will you let the pain consume you with bitterness, or will you use it to forge discipline and resilience? Will you seek solace in someone else, or will you look inward to discover the strength you never knew you had? Most people try to bypass this process. They jump into a new relationship, embark on a spiritual journey, or pretend that everything is fine. But avoidance is just a delay tactic. The person who confronts their pain head-on, without distraction or escape, is the one who emerges stronger, unafraid, and unstoppable. So, take a moment to sit with your emotions. Don't try to numb them or distract yourself. Don't share your feelings with the world or pretend to be on a journey of self-discovery. Just be still. Let the pain speak to you. Let it reveal the person you became when you were desperate for love and validation. Let it expose how much of yourself you gave away without ensuring it was valued in return. It's in this silence that you'll discover your true strength. Imagine this: you're standing at a crossroads, ready to leave behind the version of yourself that's been chasing validation, seeking approval, and trying to fix what's broken. From now on, you stop asking for permission, stopping after every maybe, and stopping trying to explain your worth. Instead, you channel every ounce of pain into fuel for growth. You hit the gym not to impress her with your physique, but to reclaim your relationship with strength, because true power isn't about others' opinions, it's about who you are when you're alone. You read books not to sound smart, but to sharpen your thoughts like a finely honed blade, ready to cut through confusion. You go ghost not to hurt her, but because you're focused on becoming someone she'll never have to deal with again. This isn't about revenge, it's about rebirth. Now, think about your emotions. They're like weapons, and you need to master them before anyone else can use them against you. She hurt you, walked away as if nothing happened, and now your heart is a storm of rage, sadness, and shame. But here's the truth most men overlook: if you can't control your emotions, someone else will always take advantage of them. Your feelings aren't just reactions, they're tools. Master them, and you'll turn chaos into clarity. Let go of the old you, and build something stronger. At this moment, you find yourself in a vulnerable position, feeling overwhelmed because you never acquired the skills to manage your emotions effectively. The individual who loses his composure, who breaks down while on the phone, or who sends lengthy messages pleading for answers is not a threat. In fact, he is quite predictable and easy to manipulate. Once she realizes that she can easily provoke a reaction from you, she gains control over you. It's important to understand that stoicism does not mean suppressing your emotions, rather, it involves maintaining control over how those emotions influence your actions. True control is subtle, and genuine power is characterized by composure. She anticipated that you would crumble under pressure, she expected you to react emotionally. Perhaps she even desired to witness your breakdown as a way to reassure herself that she still had influence over you. However, here's how you can turn the situation around. Do not give her the reaction she is looking for. Avoid raising your voice, refrain from justifying your actions, and do not attempt to demonstrate your value. Instead, choose to remain silent. Allow her to experience the void left by your absence. Allow her to experience the discomfort of uncertainty about your thoughts. In the realm of dark psychology, the most intimidating individual in any situation is the one who radiates complete unreadability, someone who maintains a neutral expression, speaks with a steady tone, and exudes an air of emotional detachment. This kind of presence unsettles others because it creates an atmosphere of unpredictability. Your goal is to make her wonder about your emotions, but to do so, you must stop giving her any clues. Withdraw your reactions inward, secure your feelings, and transform that energy into deliberate action. True mastery isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about consciously steering them toward a purpose. Take the chaos of your inner world and use it as fuel to build something meaningful. Think of every workout you complete, every book you read, or every dollar you earn as examples of emotional alchemy, turning raw, intangible feelings into visible, powerful outcomes. This is a form of strength that catches others off guard, because when you can walk away from past pain without flinching or reacting, you become a force of nature. She'll sense this not through words or messages, but through a silence so profound it reverberates in her mind like a haunting echo. Now, consider this: the third point involves her revealing something, not taking it. It might feel as though she's taken something from you, your sense of calm, your trust in her, your time, or even your sense of self. But in reality, she exposed something, and that revelation has left you feeling as though a part of you has been stripped away. Let's set the record straight. She didn't take anything from you, instead, she shed light on some uncomfortable truths. She pointed out the vulnerabilities in your approach, the areas where you were overly accommodating and generous without expecting reciprocity. You might feel betrayed, but what if that feeling stems from an unfiltered, honest revelation? What if her departure is the ultimate gift of clarity, showing you that her loyalty didn't match yours and that she wasn't ready to embrace your full potential? This isn't a loss, it's an invaluable lesson. Now you're aware of the parts of yourself you entrusted to someone else, your happiness, confidence, and sense of purpose. You have a choice now, to crumble or to rise above. This is the pivotal moment that distinguishes the ordinary from the extraordinary, the average from the evolved. When faced with the difficult experience of a broken relationship, a common path many individuals unfortunately take is allowing the pain to cultivate bitterness within them. This often leads to making broad, sweeping generalizations, perhaps causing them to declare something like, "all women are the same," or similar sentiments born from hurt. They tend to emotionally withdraw and close themselves off, carrying the weight of that emotional wound for a considerable period, sometimes even years. This approach keeps them stuck in the past and prevents healing. However, someone who chooses to embrace a more stoic perspective approaches this adversity in a fundamentally different way. They don't let the heartbreak simply make them resentful. Instead, they actively work to transform the emotional turmoil into a source of profound clarity and self-understanding. The crucial shift happens in the questions they ask themselves. Rather than dwelling on external blame by asking, "Why did she do this to me?" a question that gives away your power, their focus turns inward. They begin to explore more empowering questions like, "What role did I play in allowing this situation to unfold?" Or "Why did I permit this dynamic to exist in my life?" This pivot towards self-inquiry is precisely where genuine personal power truly begins to take root and flourish. The moment you stop viewing the other person solely as someone who wronged you or took something from you, like a thief who stole your happiness, and start seeing their actions as a reflection, essentially a mirror held up to yourself, your entire perspective on the situation undergoes a dramatic and fundamental transformation. Through her behavior and the circumstances that unfolded, she inadvertently provided you with incredibly valuable insights about yourself. She showed you, with stark and undeniable clarity, exactly what aspects of yourself or your life needed attention and change. Specifically, she highlighted the boundaries you failed to establish or enforce, and pointed out the personal values or standards you might have compromised along the way in that relationship. Think of this revelation not as an injury, but rather as a detailed blueprint or a precise roadmap for your own personal development and growth journey moving forward. So, to look at it from this perspective, she didn't actually take anything away from you in the traditional sense of loss. What she did, perhaps unintentionally, was effectively pull back a curtain or rip off a mask, exposing aspects of yourself you might have been unaware of or avoiding. She revealed your blind spots, those areas in your character, your approach to relationships, or your self-respect that were vulnerable and needed addressing. And here's the powerful outcome: by diligently working on these identified areas, by fixing those blind spots and strengthening your inner self, you will evolve into a significantly better, more resilient, and self-aware version of yourself. This is a version she ultimately didn't deserve to have in her life, and, having grown past that point, is a version she will never be able to reach or impact again. Moving on to another crucial principle for navigating the aftermath of such experiences, often referred to as the law of detachment. This principle is straightforward yet incredibly effective for regaining control. You must consciously choose to starve her of any emotional reaction or response from you. It's important to understand that, in many situations, the other person is still observing your behavior, even if it's from a distance or indirectly through mutual contacts or social media. This remains true even if they have taken steps like blocking your communication channels, appear to have completely moved on with their life, or explicitly state that they no longer care about you or the situation. Despite outward appearances, they are often subtly monitoring for one specific thing: your reaction to the breakup and its aftermath. They are looking for evidence that you are still emotionally invested, that the situation still bothers you, or that you are struggling significantly. Withholding that reaction denies them the validation or confirmation they might be seeking, and it powerfully reinforces your own emotional independence and strength. Can she still captivate you? Are you finding yourself in a cycle without her? But the moment you detach, the moment you deny her your energy, the dynamics shift. Detachment isn't indifference, it's self-discipline. It's the skill to hold back your presence, your focus, and your approval because you no longer offer them to individuals who haven't earned them. This is how power shifts. You don't need to raise your voice, share quotes, or play emotional games. Simply stop responding. Remember this: every time you react out of emotion, she gains an advantage. Every time you check her social media updates, she wins. Every time you keep the door slightly ajar, she knows she can re-enter whenever she pleases. But when you become still, when your energy vanishes completely, she begins to feel the void. It's not about what you said, but about what you stopped saying. In the realm of psychology, withholding is a form of control. What you deprive begins to long for you. And what you neglect starts to pursue. It's a paradox: the more present you are, the more you diminish your worth. Creating emotional distance actually enhances your appeal, making you seem more intriguing and compelling. If your goal is for her to experience regret over the departure, shift away from overtly demonstrating what she's missing. Instead, allow the void to speak for itself. Let her genuinely sense the absence of your focus, your steadfast commitment, and your passionate energy. that quiet space you create will resonate far more powerfully than any message you might compose. When you feel that familiar pull to contact her, react to her actions, or defend your value, pause. Remember, true attractiveness lies in the man who radiates self-assurance without seeking validation. Emotional detachment isn't coldness, it's mastery over your reactions. It's personal empowerment. It's the strategic choice that speaks volumes. Now, for the fifth principle, maintain complete outward composure while focusing entirely on internal growth. She anticipates your collapse, imagining you isolated, obsessively reviewing old conversations, mentally reliving memories, and desperately awaiting her return. This broken, confused orbit of her existence image is precisely what she expects to see. Defy that expectation by revealing nothing, no social media hints, no expressions of sorrow, no emotional disclosures. Vanish from her observable world. While she's preoccupied with assumptions of your devastation, you're actively reconstructing, developing skills, nurturing relationships, pursuing ambitions, and fundamentally rebuilding your identity from within. This silent transformation becomes your most eloquent statement. This is the phase of your transformation. However, it's not something that needs to be announced loudly. There are no grand declarations or flashy new beginnings. You don't have to showcase your progress to the world. Instead, you embark on this journey quietly and with determination, even when no one is paying attention. It is in these moments of solitude that true growth occurs, often hidden from the public eye. Every individual faces challenges, but not everyone emerges from them transformed. Those who do not seek the spotlight, they simply return changed, often unrecognizable, exhibiting greater strength, sharper focus, and a cooler demeanor. This transformation is not driven by resentment but rather by a commitment to self-discipline. Your efforts become something sacred, and your quietness turns into a strategic advantage. Embrace the idea of going incognito. Become deeply focused and passionate about your goals. Work on improving your physical health, your financial situation, and your mental outlook. Make it a habit to read daily, lift heavier weights, and acquire new skills. Accumulate victories while others are busy seeking attention. Your pursuit is not just about immediate recognition, it's about building a lasting legacy. Allow her to ponder your absence. Let her scroll through her feed, hoping to catch a glimpse of the man she once thought she knew, only to come to the realization that he no longer exists. Healing is not about showcasing your progress, it's about creating something so impactful that your past loses its significance. Your goal isn't for her to miss you, rather, you want her to understand that she never truly knew you at all. The man she walked away from was merely a rough draft, while the person you are evolving into is your final masterpiece. Now, let's discuss the sixth point: indifference can be a form of seduction. You want her to feel regret for letting you go. Avoid chasing after her, refrain from reacting, and don't even pretend to care. This is because nothing lingers in the human psyche quite like indifference. When someone anticipates a dramatic response but is met with silence instead, it creates a void that is more compelling than any apology or argument could ever be. Indifference should not be mistaken for coldness, it is, in fact, a form of clarity. You are not merely pretending to be unconcerned, you genuinely do not care. The pivotal moment arrives when you truly understand that your inherent value isn't tied to someone else's approval, especially hers. This understanding unlocks a remarkable level of self-assurance. It's about ceasing the relentless pursuit of validation and becoming comfortable, even indifferent, to being overlooked. Consider this: which resonates more powerfully? A man craving external approval, constantly seeking reassurance, or a man so secure in his own being that he feels no need to prove anything to anyone? This is the essence of Stoic allure, a magnetic pull achieved not through active chasing, but through a quiet, unwavering self-possession. Think of a strong, silent type, radiating confidence without uttering a word about it. When she senses this detachment, this complete lack of reaction to her actions or departure, it can trigger a cascade of self-doubt. She begins to re-evaluate her judgments. Did she misread the situation? Was leaving the right choice? The silence is deafening. Why aren't you showing any sign of distress? Why does your emotional energy seem completely absent? These questions consume her because you've disrupted the established dynamic. you've denied her the satisfaction of wielding emotional control. You've stepped out of the predefined role of the heartbroken pursuer. Instead, you embody the man who walked away, resolute and unburdened by regret. This is where true power lies. This creates an aura of mystery and intrigue. It's attraction operating on a level that transcends manipulation, a genuine connection that's resistant to superficial games. It's a self-respect so profound it becomes irresistibly captivating. This isn't about playing games, it's about understanding your own worth and acting accordingly. For example, imagine a situation where you've been giving someone a lot of attention, and they begin to take it for granted. By withdrawing that attention, not out of spite but because you realize your time and energy are valuable, you create a space for them to re-evaluate your significance in their life. This shift in dynamics is what makes Stoic seduction so effective. Winning her back isn't about making an effort to chase after her, it's about transforming into someone she can no longer easily reach. In that quiet space, she starts to recognize the significance of what she has lost. The seventh point to consider is the importance of controlling the narrative. You must take charge of the situation. Reality is not merely defined by events, it is shaped by how you interpret them. That breakup you experienced? It wasn't a rejection, it was a redirection towards something better. The silence that followed wasn't a sign of abandonment, rather, it was an opportunity for personal growth and improvement. In any circumstance, the individual who manages the narrative holds the power. At this moment, your perspective will dictate whether you rise above your challenges or remain in a state of despair. She may have left with the assumption that you would fall apart. That is her perspective. She likely believes she is in control, orchestrating the situation and defining the story. However, the teachings of Stoicism and elements of dark psychology reveal a crucial truth. True power lies with the person who determines the meaning of a moment, not just its appearance or what others might say about it. You have the authority to make that choice. If you view this experience as a loss, you will remain in a victim mindset, clinging to the past and waiting for a sense of closure that may never arrive. Conversely, if you choose to see this as a form of liberation, a fresh start from an illusion that no longer serves you, you can embrace the role of the creator, the individual who constructs his own narrative on his own terms. The way you present yourself significantly influences how others perceive you. When you display signs of being broken or vulnerable, people are likely to treat you as if you require assistance or fixing. Conversely, if you carry yourself with strength, composure, and focus, others will interpret this as a sign that you are thriving, and they may feel inspired to follow suit. This shift in perception often sparks curiosity in others. It is at this moment that the emotional dynamics begin to change. Allow her to witness a man who is not desperately searching for solutions but rather confidently owning his story. Remember, you did not lose a woman, instead, you let go of a version of yourself that was no longer beneficial. The man you have become now does not feel the need to explain himself or justify his actions. Instead, he reframes his experiences and moves forward with purpose. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the author and editor of your own life narrative. By controlling your perspective, you gain authority over everything that follows. Now, let's discuss the importance of viewing yourself as the prize rather than the one who is seeking. It's essential to recognize that she was never the ultimate prize, you simply lost sight of your own value. You placed her at the center of your world, elevating her to a pedestal that she may not have deserved. In doing so, you rearranged your life around her, striving to keep her happy and trying to maintain a relationship that was already showing signs of strain. It's time to reclaim your worth and understand that you are the one who deserves to be cherished. It's time to break that cycle. Starting today, shift from pursuing others to cultivating your own growth. Confident individuals don't desperately seek validation, they naturally draw people in through self-assuredness. Rather than pleading to be selected, they exercise discernment. When you redirect your energy from "I need her approval" to "I need to invest in myself," the entire relationship dynamic transforms. Instead of positioning her as the ultimate goal, you'll find her observing your evolution into someone worth pursuing. To capture genuine attention, avoid empty gestures like constant messaging or superficial social media displays. True magnetism comes from mental and emotional independence, not as punishment, but because your time is too precious to invest in those who've already left. Every moment spent chasing is a moment stolen from self-improvement. Reverse the narrative: you weren't the one rejected, you were the undervalued advantage. You represented security, consistency, and reliability. Her departure wasn't a rejection of love, but a failure to recognize someone actively building their legacy. Now, as she seeks temporary validation elsewhere, you're laying bricks for a purposeful future. Imagine this: while scrolling through dating apps drains energy, dedicating evenings to learning new skills or volunteering strengthens your foundation. This isn't about games, it's about recognizing that sustainable connections form when two complete individuals choose each other, not when one chases what's already walked away. While she may find herself caught up in various distractions, you are busy cultivating discipline. This is the path that transforms a man into a valuable prize. It's not about what he displays outwardly, but rather about what he chooses to hold back. Your presence, energy, and accessibility become more precious when they are not readily available, making you a rare find. Victory does not come from persuading her, it comes from evolving beyond the version of yourself that ever felt the need to do so. Now, let's discuss an important point: her feelings of regret are not your concern. You might find yourself pondering questions like, will she regret her choices, or will she come to understand what she has lost? Perhaps you even wonder if she will return just to express her apologies. However, the harsh reality is that her regret is irrelevant to your journey. It is not your responsibility. The moment you tie your healing process to her reactions, you remain emotionally tethered to her. What you truly need is not her sense of regret or closure, what you need is freedom. You should aim for a level of detachment so profound that even if she were to plead for a return, you would hardly react. This state of mind is not about being unfeeling or cold, it's about prioritizing your own emotional well-being and growth. Achieving inner clarity is a game changer. Once you've reached this state of profound peace, nothing your former partner says, or doesn't say, has the power to ruffle your feathers. Many individuals, particularly men, squander months or even years awaiting a validation that may never materialize: a heartfelt apology, a confession of longing, or an acknowledgement of past mistakes. However, true empowerment doesn't stem from hearing these words. Real strength lies in not needing them because you've already mentally closed the book on that chapter. Consider this: even if regret does eventually surface, what exactly would it change? Would it retroactively undo the hurt, the silence, or the way you were swiftly moved on from? If regret does arrive, it will be a belated afterthought. By the time it does, you'll have progressed so significantly in your personal growth journey that it won't even register on your emotional radar. Here's a crucial distinction: you're not rebuilding yourself to evoke longing in someone else. You're transforming to elevate yourself to a version that was previously unattainable to your former partner. This new, evolved version of yourself is indifferent to who might regret losing them. They're too focused on forward momentum to glance back. So, let your former partner navigate their emotions in their own time. You've lost interest in waiting for sentimental validations that only hinder your progress. Their potential regret is, quite frankly, inconsequential to your ongoing growth and self-actualization. The ultimate aim is to achieve your inner peace. This principle, referred to as number 10 in the Stoic Code, represents a state that is both steadfast and unattainable for many. It signifies a culmination of personal growth and transformation. When you cease to let your emotions dictate your actions and instead adhere to a guiding code, you do not become emotionally detached, rather, you cultivate a sense of composure. Your emotional state is not influenced by external circumstances because you have made a conscious choice to ensure that nothing outside of you will dictate how you feel internally. This is the essence of the Stoic Code, which serves as the bedrock of genuine and enduring strength. Consider a situation where someone you care about decides to leave. Instead of reacting impulsively, you maintain your calm. They may test your resolve by remaining silent, but you remain unaffected. Attempts to provoke a reaction from you are met with indifference. This is because you have learned not to flinch in the face of challenges. You no longer pursue what does not resonate with your personal goals and values. You have moved away from living life on an emotional autopilot, taking control of your responses and aligning them with your true mission. You shifted from allowing fleeting emotions to dictate long-term choices. This is the core of your transformation. What sets you apart now isn't just a performance of calmness, it's a deep-rooted sense of self that radiates stability. You're no longer masking resilience to catch her attention, instead, you embody unwavering composure. Through trials and turbulence, you've emerged not broken, but refined, with a clarity about who you are that others can no longer decipher. This isn't about being mysterious, it's about reclaiming your narrative. You've stopped sharing your pain with the world, no longer declaring your progress like a public achievement. You've moved beyond reacting to external stimuli altogether, because when your sense of self is forged from within, external forces lose their power over you. You don't crave retaliation, nor do you demand others to validate your journey. Your path no longer hinges on others' understanding or approval. You've stepped off the emotional roller coaster entirely, leaving behind the games of validation and expectation. As a result, she'll never again encounter this version of you, one who is unshakable, unattainable, and utterly beyond reach. True stoicism isn't about coldness, it's about inner strength so profound that the world can't touch it. This wasn't just a video, it was a declaration of your evolution into someone who stands firmly in their own truth, unbothered by chaos or external validation. This was a blueprint, a psychological rebirth from pain to power, from chaos to control, from being the one left behind to becoming the one they can't reach anymore. You didn't just watch this. You survived it. And that's something most never do. Now you walk different. You think different. You've stopped reacting and started ruling. She doesn't define your value. The past doesn't hold your future. You've burned the old version of yourself to the ground. And from the ashes, you've built something untouchable. And remember, this isn't about her anymore. This is about you becoming so locked in, so disciplined, so whole that no loss can shake you, no setback can break you, and no silence can scare you. You are the calm in your own storm, the eye of your own hurricane. So from now on, don't just survive heartbreak. Weaponize it. Carry yourself like a man who doesn't chase, doesn't fold, doesn't explain. A man who commands the room by walking in silent, steady, and unbothered. If this hit you in your core, if this woke up something inside you, hit that like button. Subscribe to Stoic Blessing. Enable notifications and share your thoughts in the comments section below. I believe in making intentional choices rather than pursuing aimlessly. Remember, your journey is far from finished, in fact, it's just starting to become truly captivating. Every chapter of your story holds potential, and the most exciting parts are yet to unfold. So, stay engaged, embrace the process, and let's see where this adventure takes you. Your path is unique, and the best is yet to come.